Hi everyone, Colesy here, and today I'm going to tell you about how I have replaced my Steam Deck with a gaming laptop because of the Nintendo Switch 2. That doesn't really sound like it makes sense, but it does in my mind, and I'll go through exactly why. The Nintendo Switch 2 is part of why I made this decision to move from the Steam Deck over to a gaming laptop, which I have in front of me. But it is not the only factor, so we will go into that. I had a Steam Deck for a while. Now, I bought the Steam Deck from my brother because he was getting rid of it. He didn't want it. He didn't really use it that much. So I thought, that's cool. I want to play around with the cool new tech thing and play video games. Now, I don't have a PC at home. I only have my PC in the office. If I want to play a game in the living room, I can't do that because I don't have a PC in there anymore. The thought behind it was, if I get a Steam Deck, I can play Steam games at home, which is what I really want to do. I can play a few more games in my own time, which I don't generally get time to do, but with maybe this handheld, I will. Now, nothing against the Steam Deck. Now, this was the LCD Steam Deck, so it wasn't like the OLED Steam Deck. I really liked the Steam Deck. It was cool. Here's the thing. I just never really used it. I used it occasionally, right? I played a few little indie games on it, which I had great time with, and I probably would not have played them had I not had it. Like, if I'd had nothing, I'd never bought the Steam Deck, and I didn't have a gaming laptop, I would probably have never played them. They're not the kind of game that I really make content on. They're just more a game that I'm interested in and I want to play. And having the Steam Deck actually gave me a chance to do this. So on the odd occasion that I used the Steam Deck, these were the type of games I was playing. I did play around with some emulator stuff, but again, it never really felt just how it was meant to be. Didn't feel right. I can play an emulator on my PC and it's fine, but playing on the Steam Deck just, I don't know, it was different. Maybe playing around with it more, I could have got more used to it, but just in general, I just didn't use it enough. So then I thought, it's a handheld console, right? Now, I also have a Switch, which also is a handheld console. Probably played the Switch more because the Switch docks. I did have a dock for the Steam Deck, but I literally never used it. The intention was there to be like, oh, it's going to be like a PC. I can run it on my TV. Literally never did it. The Switch, however, I do use, right? We do play Mario Kart. I do play handheld when I'm playing a Zelda or something that I want to play for me. I use that a lot more. And being as the Switch 2 is coming, I have my pre-order in. No surprises there. I'm excited for the Switch 2. Realistically, if I want to play a handheld game console in the next year, 2 years, I'm going to reach for the Switch 2. It's a no-brainer, right? I'm going to get the Switch 2 because there's going to be so many games on there that I have a backlog of that I want to play. Whether that be a game I've even already played that's just had a graphical improvement, that's going to be the handheld I want to pick up. That's a big thing. I know that the Steam Deck I'm barely using is going to get used even less when I have a Switch 2. And having the Steam Deck sat there just kind of made me feel bad. Like, I don't use it and it's just sat there. It should probably go to somebody that's going to use it. I can get rid of that. I don't need it, right? The few indie games I've played on it, I've had a good time playing. But realistically, I don't need a device just for that. That got me thinking. I wonder if I could sell my Steam Deck and buy a better performance gaming laptop for the price that I sold it for. So that's exactly what I did. I listed my Steam Deck with its case, with its charger, with its dock, all on eBay. I sold it on eBay and I managed to get £300, I think, for it, or near enough £300, 280, something like that, which I was pretty happy with. I think I actually bought it off my brother for $250, plus I bought him a video game. So we're kind of broke even on that. So then I ended up looking for laptops. Now, there's a lot of laptops out there. I'm not generally that much of a fan of gaming laptops just because of the fact you can't upgrade them. They're not upgradable like a desktop is. But then, you know, it's a laptop. It has the features of being portable and being able to do things on the go or on the move and things. So I was scouting around for a laptop. I knew in my brain that I kind of wanted a 1660 graphics card. That was my aim in my head, was that was what I wanted. Now, that should be better than the performance of a Steam Deck. It's no surprise the Steam Deck, it doesn't have a dedicated GPU. It's running at a lower resolution. It's running on an AMD built-in GPU that's built into the CPU and APU. And it does a good job, right? It's not able to play every game. A lot of PCs aren't. You can buy a PC that's not able to play every game. But obviously the Steam Deck, with its lower performance and it being handheld and things like that, it's not made for your AAA games generally. There are Steam verified games. There's also the possibility that sometimes a game you want to play just does not work on the Steam Deck, which is a shame. Having scouted around, doing some looking, you know, giving it a week or two, I ended up buying a laptop. This one here, this Gigabyte laptop, Gigabyte black laptop here, pretty standard looking. Secondhand, obviously not brand new. I don't need a brand new one. This is a G5 MD from 2021, so a little bit older. But this has a RTX 3050 Ti in it, 16 gig of RAM and an i5 11th gen, I want to say. So actually, a very good little laptop in terms of its performance. Definitely beats out the Steam Deck. Now, the other thing is, yes, I'm going to use this for gaming. I'm going to game on this thing when I feel like it. Now, that's exactly what I did with the Steam Deck. Here's the problem with the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck only plays games. A laptop I can do a lot more with. Now, I am a content creator. I create content. And being able to have a little machine that is able to do that portably. Now, I can go anywhere and record a video wherever I want it with my laptop, or I can use it to hook up to record a podcast somewhere or something like that. That's really the reason I decided to go for the laptop. It means I have a lot more that I can do. I can actually edit on this rather than having to remote into my office PC. If I wanted to, I can edit on this. I couldn't do that with the Steam Deck. Now, while the Steam Deck is great, and if you want to get into sort of PC gaming, but you don't have a PC, but maybe a Steam Deck is a way in, fine. If you want it as a portable PC because you don't have a laptop or you don't want to carry a laptop, I admit the laptop is significantly bigger than the Steam Deck. It also doesn't have a built-in controller, but thankfully, you know, Xbox controllers exist and we all have a billion of them probably, different controllers that we use for PC, so I can use that with the laptop as well. There's a lot more I can do with the laptop basically. And again, couple that with the fact that if I'm going to play a portable handheld system in a month, it's going to be the Switch 2. I don't need the Steam Deck. So that is the reason I've decided to go for this. And honestly, I was pleasantly surprised that I'm actually able to pick up a gaming laptop of decent spec for literally less than I sold my Steam Deck for. This is a use case specifically to me. A lot of my time that I'm not making content, I'm doing other stuff. I'm spending time with my family. I'm doing other things. I'm sorting out things in the house or fixing something on a car, or I don't fix things on cars. That was a lie. But you know, I've got other things to do. I don't have a hell of a lot of time to game. And so having a Steam Deck, which is specifically a gaming machine, just didn't end up making a lot of sense for me. And funnily enough, when my brother sold me the Steam Deck, his exact reason for selling me the Steam Deck was he was going to sell it to buy a gaming laptop because it would be much more useful to him. He could use it for uni work as well as gaming. And in the end, that is exactly what I've done. I don't go to uni though, so I won't be using it for any type of that, but I will use it for work in content creation and making things. So that's cool. Yes, I did indeed sell my Steam Deck because my Switch 2 was coming, and that's going to be my preference. And instead, I spent the money and made a little bit of profit on the side buying this Gigabyte gaming laptop, which I'm going to be able to use for content production, content creation, and gaming. Steam Deck, look, you were cool. You're a cool piece of tech. I enjoyed playing around with it. The same as I enjoy playing around with VR. Realistically, I don't use VR if I'm not making content. I just don't have the time to do that. But at least VR has given me a different experience that I cannot get in a different way. The Steam Deck, unfortunately, was just giving me gaming on the go, which I can do with a Switch or a Switch 2. And it didn't provide all the other things that a gaming laptop can do. Just for me, the Steam Deck didn't make sense. It was fun having it. Great to try it, and I hope that if you are looking at getting a Steam Deck, you have a think, is it really right for you, or would you rather spend less money maybe, buy yourself a little gaming laptop that's a few years old, but performance-wise is going to be improved on the Steam Deck. Just a little bit of a video, me rambling there. I just wanted to tell you about this new thing I've bought. So I'm going to be using this for more portable content. I don't know what that means yet, but we're planning on doing a podcast at some point, me, Rapskillian, and Jamie Source, in real life. That's right. That's crazy because we live very far away from each other. Other countries, in fact. But we're planning on doing a podcast, and I'm sure this laptop will be very helpful for that and creating content when they're down so that we don't all have to squish into my tiny office because that would be impossible. Enough of me rambling. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions for me about the Steam Deck or about laptops or maybe what is right for you, then let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to help and give my advice and my opinion on these things. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out, and I'll catch you next time.